and it's not about brushing your teeth, right? When you look at hygiene is, what's a cyber hygiene of your company? You control the use case and you control the risk. 3 years ago, it's zero trust. During COVID time, zero trust. Back then, it's machine learning on cybersecurity. Every now and then, there's going to be a new thing that's coming up. And I'm not saying that everybody will become a red teamer the next day, right?
Welcome, Paul. Welcome to Sri Lanka.
Thank you, man.
How's it been so far? Just a few hours, but
It's my second time here.
oh,
You know,
that's great.
food, great hospitality, great food, like to go back on vacation.
Welcome to the Cybersecurity Summit. Hope you had a blast in the
Yeah,
first
I
session.
mean, anytime that you get to interact with folks and with C-level and about certain topics, I'm always happy to do it.
Amazing. Thank you for being here in our podcast booth. Means a lot.
My pleasure.
So cybersecurity often needs balance. So protecting data without slowing down innovation. How do you navigate this in your perspective?
Well, a lot of times when people do adoption of certain technology, we're just talking about it now. Cloud, mobile phone, AI. There's always this saying that companies or the security team will say, hey, don't use it, because they will say, we don't know the risk, right? Or don't use it because it's not safe. Whenever I hear that they're not safe, I feel a bit sensitive, not sensitive, but I feel a bit cringy, because cybersecurity and safety of a certain product is extremely relative. It depends on your context or use case, and especially it depends on the risk level.
Yeah.
My point of view when it comes to cybersecurity, as a cyber professional, your job is not to be the guy to say no. Your job is to say that it's okay, you can use this technology, we got your back. It's a very big paradigm shift. If you look at those companies where the cyber teams will tell people, don't deploy to production, don't use this product, don't use this app, it's simply because they have not understand the inherent risk. So if you ask me, right, how would you do it? I'll change the approach from a control base where you cannot use it to a risk base. What are the risks and how we can control it? And Mr. Business or Mr. Developer, you can use the product, no problem. We got your back.
Yeah.
That should be the mentality of cyber teams.
Culture, awareness, and employees. I think they play like a massive role in this cybersecurity perspective. What's your point of view on culture, awareness, and employees in a cyberback company or even more?
When you look at culture, right, there's a lot of ways you can look at this. Number one, how you trust your people. Obviously, the bigger the company, the more controls you're gonna put, the less trust you're gonna put, right? From a culture perspective, and for me, this is not just about cyber. It has to how it looks at how you do your business. Like approving a business trip or approving a travel or approving a claim is the same thing as approving a person to use a tool or a software.
Yeah.
Right. There are certain ways people look at it. Some people look at it as trust. You just let people do their thing. Some people requires multiple layers. The same thing applies on how you apply cybersecurity as well. If you look at a startup, you can just use any product that you see on the market,
Yeah.
right? But if you go to a more structured company, you have to ask 10 people for approval. My point of view, again, is you don't control the product, you control the use case and you control the risk, rather than controlling the tool, because people will use it anyway. Like just, our co-panelist a while ago said, can never prevent people from using technology.
Yeah.
They will use it no matter what.
Yeah. And I think AI is like a really hot topic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what do you think, what's that global trend or challenge in your perspective that keeps you up and going every day?
I mean, if you ask my opinion, the number one challenge right now is education. And I'm not saying that everybody will become a red teamer the next day, right? If people know how things work and what are the cyber risks are, I think most of the breaches will not happen. Second one is hygiene. And it's not about brushing your teeth, right? When you look at hygiene is, what's a cyber hygiene of your company? Are you doing the things right? Are you maximizing the tools that you're having? You buy cyber technology, cybersecurity tools. You're buying firewalls. You're buying endpoint. You're buying all this software that you buy. Company buys 60 cybersecurity products on average. Are they using it? Are they probably properly deploying it? Um, I always tell the younger people, right, when you look at cybersecurity, 80% of the risks can be solved just by cyber hygiene, by just doing things right. So yeah, for me, it's the education and the knowledge that you need cyber hygiene. That's for me the most important thing that we need to address.
I think you just guessed my next question. It's about education and youngsters. There's so many young guys trying to get into cybersecurity and may not know what important cybersecurity is. What is that one advice that you would give to them?
Cybersecurity is a continuously changing industry. Whatever the hot topic now, like right now, is AI security. 3 years ago, it's zero trust. During COVID time, zero trust. Back then, is machine learning on cybersecurity. Every now and then, there's going to be a new thing that's coming up. If I'm a young person, I would understand the risk. I would understand the basics of how IT works. If you distill cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity is a practice where you need to understand if a product does what it's intended to do. Just simplify. You break it down. First principles. You break it down to what really your business needs and how that application works and how the technology works, right? More of the time, there's a lot of training out there where you got fundamentals networking, fundamentals things. Very good. That's very good fundamentals. But you gotta understand why people buy things and why people do stuff, and you work backwards. You work on the use cases, then you work on the technology, then you work on the risk. That's the way I see it.
Thank you so much for Paul for coming into the podcast. Finally, if I just ask you, how a big of an impact would cybersecurity summit like this would keep the industry growing, and what it contributes to the community?
Look, I run the security AWS Cloud Security user group in Singapore. I'm very big advocate of community because number one, it's a good way of people learning from their peers. For me, the best way of learning on something is not on before AI. The best way of learning things is social, Reddit. People trust Reddit more than they trust the documentation. People trust Reddit more than they trust their parents. Right, so think about this community as this kind of events is community building, learning from your peers, and not just that. I was just talking to someone before we come here, and I said, look, you want to have a dialogue. Dialogue is important because that's where you share your ideas. It's not about me or you or anyone saying this is how you should be doing things. It's all about, look, this is how I do it. Maybe how do you do it? Maybe yours is better, right? Or maybe I can learn from you can learn from me. There's no technology, there's no right or wrong. Everything's a trade-off.
Yeah.
And once you talk to people who's smarter than you and who's more experienced than you, I think that's where events like this is become very, very crucial to any, even though you're a very seasoned professional, you still have things to learn. Right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. Hope you enjoy Sri Lanka for the next few days.
I'm going to enjoy it for sure.
Let's catch up tomorrow as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.